Hey guys, it's Julie from Plan to Create, and I am here today to do a plan with me for week 43 of 2022. I just thought I would show you guys periodically. I pulled out my previous Hobonichi and just peek in and see like what was I doing this time last year. I think it's kind of a fun practice because it's fun to take like design elements and see like, oh yeah, I should try that again. You know, maybe that sidebar in that order worked well. So that's something that I check back on. I feel like it's very easy to, you know, find a system, love it, and then you flip to the next page and it's like a new canvas and I completely forget how, you know, what has completely worked for me in the past. So I just feel like it's just nice to revisit it every now and then, and I don't do this every week, but I do it periodically just to kind of check in. So I thought I would just mention that, and I'm going to place this off on the side off the screen, but as I plan this week, just know I might be glancing over there kind of like, okay, what did I do? Obviously the sidebar is an area that I can be inspired, but I'm also kind of always looking to see how I want to break up my week and like how large I want each section and where I want them. So that is where I'm actually going to start with today, is I'm going to divide out all of my sections before I do even a smidge of planning. This is just a sticky note kind of reminding me that I think this is the time of year that we can head back out hiking, and I'm excited because I think the snakes are gone and it's not like, you know, heat stroke status. So good times. Sorry, I can see the light kind of coming and going, and I'll try to respond with my camera settings, but I am here kind of in a room with two big windows, and so I just take whatever natural light I can get, and I do prefer that to working under the like fluorescent lighting. I have pulled out my kit, what's left of it from the planner spot, and so I have glanced and I can see that my full box is going to be a little bit on the neutral side. The last couple of weeks I've been sneaking in a little bit of that like purple and orange, and technically this is Halloween week, so it would be a fun one to do that, but I think I'm just gonna let the stickers guide me this week because that's what I have available. So I'm going to be breaking up all of my sections in this darker Tombow. It's in 79, and I had one of you guys, thank you so much, tell me just to stick some tape over that number so now it won't like scratch off. So I did. That little space right up there is a placeholder for whatever exercise. I know that I want to move my body for at least 30 minutes every day, so I like to make an actual place in my planner. While I'm at it, I'm just going to go ahead and do my hydration too. That's something else that I track up here. And I've been using this Zig Clean Color dot. I'm really in love with this guy. And so I just do 4 dots across, and I kind of try to space them, but honestly, like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing a great job. Yeah, wow. But I do love these. They just are like nice little visual reminders when I open and look at my planner to be like, oh yeah, where am I at with my water today? I try to drink 4 16-ounce cups of water. So that's kind of how that works for me. Sometimes I use my dinner plate stamp across this dinner hour, and I'm kind of debating. I kind of feel like doing that again because everything is getting super linear, and I kind of want to try a week without very much deco, but that little stamp does a nice job of decoing for me. I do get asked periodically, like, what inks do you like to use in your Hobonichi? I don't like to use any inks in my Hobonichi, if I'm completely honest. I've kind of come to terms with the fact that I don't want to stamp much in here at all, but there are a couple of inks, and Mink from Close to My Heart is one of them that I do feel like it shows up. It's dark enough to show up, but it's light enough that it doesn't, you know, ruin my page or go on to the next side. So I'm kind of aiming for this 6 o'clock dinner spot, and I know I have something written there that is going to sort of conflict on Wednesday here, but I'm just gonna consistently do this. I'm just gonna kind of go like that. It's gonna be a little bit messy right there. That's fine. So I'm aiming for the middle to be around that 18-hour mark. Okay, so instead of drawing lines there, I just used that stamp as a demarcation. It's a placeholder for me, almost like a reminder to come back into meal plan, or at least to record the meals I ate. I do find that that is something I enjoy, looking back and tracking, or like seeing, maybe getting meal ideas or seeing how often we're eating out. There's lots of different reasons why I like to include that on my week, and I do just think that that is a nice way of holding place for that. If you've watched me before, you know that that's basically kind of my day, like from the morning when I work out, ideally first thing, to mealtime, and then I give a little space after there to record maybe what we have planned for the evenings. But other than that, I feel like the other space is open. This I tend to use a little bit more for deco, and then I like to do a few other things down here. So you'll see I do have these lists down here. My Costco list is something that kind of comes and goes. We try to go to Costco like once a month, so I'll sort of build up to this list, and then I end up just taking a picture of this and heading off to Costco. I don't actually carry my planner into Costco with me. That would be too much for me to juggle. There's already too much to see. I can't even imagine pulling a planner out there and trying to keep my brain straight. It might help me, but not on my list. Okay, so the thing with this, I'm not gonna just draw a line through here because I either write the headers of my lists or I use stickers. Sometimes I use icons, which I think I'll do this week. I think that that would be fun because I haven't used them much here yet in my Hobonichi. Here's the option I'll show you from last week where I just hand wrote all of my lists. I also have stickers that I've customized with all of the same headers, but I have like my home, to buy, errands, to share is what I've used there a lot, to do, projects, and then incoming. Those are the titles of my lists. But what I did recently is I ordered from Sweet Caress Designs this cute little icon version of it. So I'm just gonna start to place these kind of in the middle of that 21st hour mark. So little house is for home things. Then I have errands, which I actually did the little card for. To buy is just the little grocery cart. That can be things that I need to go buy here or that I want to order online. Share is Instagram, and I've been doing that lower here on the page, but maybe I'll go ahead and try this again just as I have ideas. I don't really block off a schedule of what I want to share and when, but I feel like I like to just have a spot to jot an idea if it comes to mind. This is just a generic to-do list. This is kind of like projects, like I might be working on insert designs, or it could be like actually creative projects that I'm working on. And then the last one is the mail that I'm expecting this week. So from there, I'll go through and I'll just draw lines on each side so it really breaks this out into an actual section. This is where I'm putting like my actual social media activity. Then I'm keeping a small little section here. I have not been using this as much lately, but I am moving to kind of a new capsule, you know, breaking out some new fall clothes, which will definitely raise my interest in caring what I wear about each day. So I just add a little check there if I input my outfit of the day into an app that I use called Cladwell. And for the most part now, my foundation is built. I will slap some washi up here at the top. I've been using this washi throughout the month of October. It came as a part of a little bundle that I ordered from Studio Calico. I think it's called Boo to You bundle. And I just thought it was kind of fun. I like a really generic washi typically. In kind of still foundation building stage, I am going to work on my sidebar just to get some of my fun elements down. They're not necessarily planning related, but they are fun and I do like to include them. So I will be using a little bit here more of the remnants of my October kit from the planner spot. Sometimes I include her calendars and sometimes I use theirs. I have a little sticker from Lightly Inked that I want to use for this October. I thought that that's a cute little October sticker, so I want to use that there. And so I think I will just go ahead and keep the current week like that, and I'm just going to, well, I can stick it down there right now actually. I'll keep the little calendar as is because I think that that's cute with maybe that. You know what, I would like a little, like something underneath that, hang on. This is kind of a silly extra touch, but I think it would be cute. Where was I going? Yeah, just to fill that space a little bit. So it kind of has, now I'll come through with the stock sticker. That makes that pop a little bit better, I think. I'm going to try something new this week. I have not been tracking my steps for a while, and this is kind of a, hey, I'm curious, and a little bit of a check-in more than a rigid, like, I have a goal of doing this or that. So I will come through and just write Monday through Sunday. I'm curious to try something. Sometimes these lists down here can get a little packed, and then I don't end up using all of the area. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to add dots at like in every other spacing, and then if I need to I could always come back and write in between as I go. But this is just kind of a way for me to maybe space things out, keep it a little bit airier. And I have room in my daily pages that if I want to like really go ham on a certain list or, you know, really focus in on something, I could definitely work it out there. So I could be a little bit more generic here. I don't have to, although I already know that I have like a ton of things, so I'm actually gonna have to just do this because I actually know I'm expecting a few things. So that one is gonna be a little busy. I don't love to go into great detail about the second half of the week yet, even meals. I do need to sit down with my husband. I think we have a pretty good plan for this week. We've been doing a lot of Green Chef meals, so we get the ingredients sent to us, we cook them here together, and then we space that out with a couple of nights out to try fun restaurants because we have a lot of options near us that we want to check out. So we're kind of trying to balance those two things. So meal prepping anymore hasn't been as hard because it's like 3 or 4 meals are a given between the Green Chef and then a couple of nights out to eat. Makes for like, you know, one night of just fend for yourself or make your own salad kind of night. And even then, so like the schedule, I'm not ready to write in my workout schedule yet. I'm very non-committal this week. I feel like I'd like to do one hike at least, starting out like I had on that little flag earlier. I think that will be Monday. And then my husband and I think I could write the running down because I do know we want to stick to that schedule. So I'm going to give myself a little room to throw in my check mark when it's done. So you'll see I head in a little bit on that. So those are run days. The other ones are just kind of up for grabs right now, whether I go for a walk. My foot is killing me. Something's wrong with it and I'm trying to ignore it. And it's not going to go away if I just continue to walk and to run. So I'm trying to figure out something else to do on those days that maybe is a good alternative, but not swimming because I don't actually put my head underwater. That's a fun fact about me. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, week, I can write that in now. I think the ink has dried. Oh, so another little thing I've been doing is adding in a dot like on the days that I water my flowers or plants. So I actually, yeah, I did water both flowers and plants today. That's gonna make a mess, dang it. I bet I didn't let that dry. Shoot. So I'm gonna kind of add that in there and I'm just gonna put a dot for like every other day. Although it technically should probably be Tuesday, Thursday. So fun. So I'm gonna do it every day and then I'm gonna check the days I do it. That's just a little reminder slash kind of a little bit way for me to remember to do those and to actually remember when I last did them. So it's one thing for me to water on Monday, but it's another thing on Wednesday for me to remember when I watered. So that's why I have to keep track of that. I'm just trying not to kill the plants. We haven't even gotten some of them in the ground yet. So we want to make sure that those are successful little guys. Okay, so now would be the point where I would come through and start to look at my iCal calendar and to transfer some of that information over. And actually I could potentially do this first. I could come through and migrate some of last week's tasks, which I don't have a ton of. I'm trying to decide if I want to go to the Container Store. If I go there, it's like a guaranteed like trap for me. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting to see what I really, really need, and then I'll run there. I do need a cookie tray still, whether that's here in town or an Amazon order. Flower tone loppers and a craft mat. I do kind of want to get one of those. I need something to stamp on, and I used to just use a mouse pad, but I didn't transfer that with the move. So I'm trying to find something that's a little bit soft for me to stamp on. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. I'm working on October daily simultaneously while I am doing my creative journal. Let's see, I think I'm at week 40, 41, and probably, at this point 42 is fair game, and 43 would be a really ambitious start for me, but I'll put all those on there. The incoming mail, that's a little bit nutty, so let's go for it. Heidi Swap, my stamp is coming from her. I think Planner Fluent came yesterday and I haven't checked mail, so I'm actually gonna wait on that. TPS, I have some extra goodies. Organize More, honestly, is a few weeks out, I think. The stamp market should be on its way, and then I ordered another one with more inks. We'll see if that makes it. Okay, someone's been a little bit too busy with her online ordering and needs to step away. But I've been obsessed with the stamp market inks, and I just ordered a ton, you guys. It was kind of an early birthday present to myself. My birthday's next month, and so I just went for it, and I'm kind of that girl that like has to have all of the colors. I think I'm kind of a collection junkie. So that's my own problem. Okay, so now I can come through and add the events. And I used to do like a big deal with events. I used to make everything like a fun sticker, and lately I've just been like writing them in, and some of the time, half the time, not even getting a transparent dot on there, which is kind of crazy. But my husband has some meetings in an office on Tuesday, but I will just mark that off because that would be a good day for me to kind of have an office day or to work if I need a quiet place. And that I know what that means. That means like he's got something going on with work, and I know which company he's working with there. based on the color. Then I have a neighborhood book club, which I'm super excited about, just neat little ladies that I'm excited to get to know. Okay, we have something super exciting this week that we have been waiting for months and months and months. We ordered windows back in May, and they are going to be installed this week. So exciting. And so I'm going to use one of these transparent stickers. They're supposed to arrive around noon. We'll see, hopefully they come around that time. And I need to get our blinds down before that, so my guys should be calling me back. I'm trying to schedule that. I'm just gonna write that. It's not actually scheduled yet, but that's the time frame I'm aiming for when they call to schedule it. Okay, I have to share a fun little fact. We've been watching the show Alaska Daily on ABC. We would watch it probably anyway because we spent so many years in Alaska. We love a lot of things about Alaska. But my husband was actually on episode 3, so if you're a watcher, make sure you take a peek and watch for him. We flew to Vancouver, BC at the end of August and filmed that little segment. And so it's really fun to get to watch that and then just kind of get a feel for the show and enjoy the stories that they're telling. I just ordered these cute Doodle YouTube and Doodle Instagram stickers. I want to use these here at the bottom. They're kind of a good space holder for me to record, like kind of what I've actually shared. Oftentimes though, I'm gonna do this one and force myself to share something on Monday, but oftentimes I won't allow myself to put the sticker until I know I've actually shared something. So kind of a little game I play. And then I will be sharing this video throughout some point of this week. I'm probably aiming for Friday. So I will actually go ahead and do that up here, just kind of as a full day event. Friday or Saturday, somewhere along there, I'll be happy to get that up. So there is that. And other than that, like I really do have to kind of work through in my daily pages kind of what my actual, schedule is. I kind of do my morning routine in the mornings, whether we're going to be off running errands or what we're exactly doing, I don't know yet. I don't feel like we have a ton of errands to do. This is feels like a holding week. It's like we've been waiting for our windows to be installed for a while. So this is a big deal, and I feel like there's a lot of tasks that we are holding off on until that happens. We're gonna get our house painted. We have some flowers to plant and some bushes, but they're up against the house, or so there's a lot holding on this week. I feel like a lot of projects that we wanna work on. So it might be just one more week that I feel like this month I've gotten a lot of opportunity to work on my indoor little projects, my October daily, my creative journal. I've been kind of had the luxury of time on my favor as we've been waiting on other stuff. So I have tried to use that time wisely. So my days have been pretty flux, and they'll get a little bit more organized as we head into the next month because we have some travel that we're doing, so we have a lot more things to work around. I haven't had as many things to work around this month, so I've just kind of enjoyed it as a big breather and taken the opportunity just to embrace being outside. The weather is cooling off, it's awesome. That's another thing I have thought to include here, are kind of highs and lows, so I might do that. I actually would prefer to do that on my daily pages though, because I feel like I'm tempted to write it up here, but it can get a little clustery, and already there's something in the space there that I'd want to use. So I'll give you a little peek here, kind of at my dailies. I saw this online, and I'm not going to remember. I feel like Lillian Letters, maybe, and I will try to include her Instagram below if that's exactly where. But I feel like I'd seen her draw the line around her days like that, and I mean, she did it a little bit differently, but I was just kind of experimenting. And then of course Julie Plans does like a beautiful, like huge, lettering over here with her days of the week, and I'm not that good at lettering, so I tried to condense it down and just put it into a smaller space. Each of these are slightly different. I was definitely playing with the spacing last night and trying to figure out where I wanted to do my little things that I wanted to track versus where I wanted other stuff. So it's still kind of a work in progress. But if I'm going to do weather, I can tell you what, I'd feel a lot better about writing it on here somewhere. Still not sure where though. Now this looks all nice. I'm not sure where it belongs, especially since it's different every day. But I'm kind of thinking this bottom corner would be okay over here. So Tuesday, it's like a low of 48. Are you kidding? That's so cold compared to where we've been. 48 to 76. I'll do that here. Monday was 51. That's like such crisp, cool mornings. That makes me so happy because we've been trying to run a little bit more, and I ran in Alaska, so it was like cold and I loved it. Wednesday is 50 and 79. I'm not ready to write those yet, but that'll probably change by the time I get to that anyway. But how exciting. I'm just like such a nut. I moved to Arizona and I like the cold air. don't ask me anymore about that. So the next thing I'm going to be working on is probably setting up November in my dailies, because I am kind of switching things up a tiny bit. So I'll quickly show you here my October. I definitely like having an index here, so I'm going to probably move that over a little bit, shift it over, and then I want to do some type of a inbox, and I only want one inbox that I continue to refer back to. I think that will feel good to see things get checked off. This last month and in times previous, I've taken every Sunday and made an inbox, and I feel like I don't like it. I don't like several inboxes throughout the month. I would rather refer back to one major inbox and then also use my weekly pages, you know, the way I should be with the lists here. I just don't need the weekly pages and 4 different inboxes each month. I feel like that's a little bit much. So I'm tweaking that out, and I might go ahead and share how I set that up for November. And I also have some pages in November that I like to do a wish list page, and I need to get those set up so that I can start to jot ideas down there. I think I have like a social media tracker that I'll set up in my daily pages, and then I just save a lot of room for notes and scribbles. So, wow, that's really bright. Sorry, my light is literally being so obnoxious. I will dive into some of these daily pages, have a couple months left in them, and I do feel like they're fun to just kind of continually evolve into. I don't feel like I have to have it figured out right now, and I love that feeling that I could figure it out in April of next year if I just continue plugging away at this system. So I hope that you give yourselves that grace too as you plan your week this week, and just make sure you're squeezing in the things that push you towards the person you want to be. You know, if you don't nail each one perfectly, it's okay. Like I said, I'm approaching this with a lot of grace, just kind of like, I'm curious, how many steps do I take every day, instead of like, take 10,000 or feel ashamed. So, all right, you guys, I hope you enjoy your week, and I'll catch you next time.